All right, my name is Peter Larson. I am from California State University, Northridge. I am here with Professor Mastrini, and he is going to tell us a little bit about digitization in Argentina. The first thing I would like to know is how you see the digitization has affected news media in Argentina.
Uh, First of all, as worldwide, the digitization is affecting the business model. This is the most important because the digitization has broken the traditional business model of the media, and now the industry is looking for a new one. But there is a lot of uncertainty about how the media is going to work, because the earnings are decreasing a lot, and then people is also looking or watching TV or reading newspapers outside the paid model. So the economy of this media is in a crisis. Not a big crisis still, but they are considering new ways of earn money, but they don't have the answers still right now. So there is a problem. In Argentina, the broadband is still quite low, and we have a quite good connection to broadband, but at the same time it's not a very good one, and it's quite expensive for people. So the access to the digital media, it's only for some houses, for example, in Buenos Aires, in the big cities, but not in all the country. You know that Argentina is a very big country, and then it's not well covered by broadband. So the possibilities to expand the digital media all around the country is still quite low, and in Buenos Aires we have a great coverture of the media, and then in the rest of the country, in other parts of the country, this is more complex. So people is now we have some data about that for example in TV, in television, the levels of the share of the the ratings of the view TV is decreasing in the open way, and also in the cable TV, but it's increasing in the internet, and this is the people is now seeing TV or watching TV in other ways. So this is still new for Argentina. I know that in other countries this process is more ahead, but then so the model is completely changing, but we don't have answers about how it's going to be developed.
Okay, that's very interesting. You brought up a little bit about the broadband and how it's expensive, and it creates problems because it's not all over the country, especially the country. And from what I have gathered is that only about 40% has an internet connection at home. Is that correct?
40% broadband connection?
Mm-hmm.
I think that it could be
that might be a little
a little higher,
mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure about this. But the problem is not the percentage, but it's more the quality of the connection. The quality. Most of the houses are with 1 or 2 megas of the broadband, so it's a very a very little broadband.
Yeah.
Very, so you understand, no? This is the problem is not how much people has the broadband access, but very few people has, for example, 10 megas of broadband, no?
Okay.
So for digitized media, this is still a very big problem.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Wow, that was I did not expect that. I thought it was just because people didn't have it, but I guess there's a bigger or even bigger problem with it being
Yeah,
just
in
a
my
low
house, I
quality.
have 3 megas, for example. In my house, I have
Hmm.
3 megas of broadband, and to expand this, it's quite a lot expensive. So
Okay.
uh,
Okay, so the about like 3 megabytes is about the most common connection.
no, there are more
Oh,
they are more cheaper than they are cheaper than free, but the free
hmm.
it's a it's an average of
Okay.
the perhaps it's the average. There are some houses that have higher, but there is a lot of them that has less broadband.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. And have you seen through social media? Have you seen there's been any uprisings in your country? Have you seen?
Yeah, there is some social media, some also political parties that that are improving new medias, but they are important in terms of the offer they are producing, but they are not all very important. I think in terms of consume. No, it's only for the people, the consumers of this kind of media. Are the people that are involved in these social movements. They are not, they're still not able to connect with people outside their own movement.
Okay, so you wouldn't say that people are taking the best advantage of their tools, such as social media, to for social activism, for example.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think of course that it's important that to have the the tools to connect with more people, but they are still very they have lots of difficulties to reach important people and the important quantities of people. But you know the main media are still they are catching the big part of the audiences,
Okay.
not the social media. Social media it's for yes, it's they are far away from the ratings they are far away of the ratings of the main media, and they still have problems to produce some programs that are attractive for massive people.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So with social media, it's not that's not even a good source to share information when it comes to news media. Is that a let's say Facebook or Twitter? Is that a common place for in Argentina for people to
Yeah.
share news information?
Yes. Facebook Facebook. Argentina has one of the highest levels of penetration of Facebooks in
Hmm.
terms of average, not of quantity, because we
Hmm.
are only 40 million people, so there are not too much people here. But a lot of them have Facebook. But you know that it's most person to person
Hmm.
information, not it's not so important in terms of social media of social institutions that are trying to produce new ways of communications.
Okay, okay, and that's kind of what you meant earlier when you said that that's something the news outlets are still trying to work on with their digital information and the business model and how they share
Yeah.
it, right?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
All right. So, how do you where do you think the future of journalism is going in Argentina with digitization? Where do you see it? Because we know that digitization or the digital or from analog to digital is changing in 2019 officially.
Yeah.
So where do you see journalism going in that aspect?
Oh, it's not easy to answer this because I think one important thing to say is that we have a new law for media that was passed by the Congress in 2009. But this law that is very important in terms to recognize some rights to communication for people. At the same time, it's quite an analogic law.
Mm-hmm.
We think that we in terms to allow the new landscape for this digitization, and so now we are not sure about the willingness of the government to pass a new law. The government is more involved in some terms of to deconcentrate the big media, and it's not going so easy for the government to do this. The law has a lot of articles trying to make the big media group smaller, but this is it will take a long process, and it's there is a lot of uncertainty about the possibilities of complete this process. So at the same time, the other thing that is important to say is that with all this process of digitization, there is a precarization of the conditions of works of many journalists. So we have three main actors in this case. That's for one, first the industry that has no certainties about the model, then the state that is trying to produce a new media landscape, but at the same time it's not easy for the government to do this, and in the third time that the people and in the same time that the people that it's increasingly involved with the digital tools, but at the same time with not a good broadband access. So, and the journalists in this case, there is a problem of precarization, of labor precarization, that is also an important thing to say.
Okay, that's actually very interesting. Especially you brought up the law of from 2009, where we now have the SCA distributing all the licenses. How do you see in terms of that? How do you see the possibilities of people taking advantage that they are kind of demolishing the conglomerates such as the Chlorine Group?
For example, the new law reserves the 33% of the spectrum, of the complete spectrum, for non-profit organizations and non-profit media.
Really?
This is very interesting, but after 4 years of that the law was approved, we still don't have only one new media. So this is what I'm trying to say. For instance, the government is trying to push forward and made a good text for the new law, but at the same time that has a lot of problems of implementation, and we can't see the same willingness in the implementation of the policies that they have in the when they made the text of the law. So this is for example, this is the most clear case for me. No, the non-profit media that were were promoted in the law, but not in the facts.
Okay, that's very interesting. I was was one fact I was actually not aware about, that 33% was reserved for nonprofit organizations, which kind of it becomes quite relevant when we start looking into if how diversified the media in Argentina is, and how would you say the media you spoke of that it was only one nonprofit that has arisen after this law has been
Yeah.
passed. So would you say, how would you say that minorities are represented? Would you say they are underrepresented in Argentina through the
Yes,
media?
yes, yes. They are clear and underrepresented. We have a very big media group that has the main newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
Clarín,
Mm-hmm.
and it's now Grupo Clarín, the Clarín Group in English, that has not only the main newspaper, national paper, but based in Buenos Aires, but also they have the main cable TV distribution, the second most important TV channel in the country. They produce the paper for the newspapers. There's a very, very big media that, for example, it's impossible to have, in terms, of course, not in terms of earnings, that there are bigger media in the States, but it's impossible to have a group in the States that able to cover all the services that this group and in all the services they participate, that are all of the media services. They are the main, or in very few cases the second most important. So it's a very, very big group with a lot of interest in the politics, and
Mm-hmm.
and of course this group is confronting with actually with the government, and the last 4 years, the policies and the media policies were under this confront with between the government and the Clarín group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I was actually just about to ask you about the government against Clarín Group, because there are a lot of political differences for them. And from my understanding, the Clarín Group were very much against the law that was passed in 2009, because it would take down their ownership a little bit. They couldn't expand as much. If that is that correct?
Yes, yes. The law obliges Clarín to sell some of their properties, but still they have the same properties in the 2009, and we have not much expectations about some changes in the near futures in terms of Clarín property. They present a plan for adapt the group to the new law, but in terms of real property, of real structure of the group, we have not so much hope about big changes.
Okay, okay. And yeah, something I gather from your report, the Open Society report,
Yes.
is that journalists are essentially very partisan to if they're whatever newspaper they're writing for. So if you're writing for Clarín, then
Yeah.
you will adopt those political views, at least in
Yes.
your writing. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. You can see you can say that all the society, or 90% of the society now, it's in this kind of partisan position. No, very few people are in a more distant way of thinking that you can appreciate with not some partisan view. No, very few people. I think that the one important thing of this report that we made for the Open Society is that it tries to be quite balanced, and the information is where we are rich both from the both sides, no, not only from one side. And you, if you read the report, you can see that we interview people from Clarín and from the main media, but also from the government. And but this is an exercise that is not very usual here in Argentina.
Okay, and so that kind of leads me on to if you think, what are the greatest obstacles journalists face, in what are the greatest obstacles journalists face in Argentina?
The great
obstacle. What are the biggest problems journalists face? Because, as you mentioned in the Open Society report, that people generally adopt those views, and as you just said, you interviewed a lot of them, and if you don't have those views, you tend to not work for them. Would you say that's a huge problem for journalism, that this partisan view can restrict your job possibilities?
Yes, work conditions are not good right now because there are less independence for the journalists, both in terms of some pressure that the media owners could put over the journalists, but also the pressure that is putting the media aligned with the government, and also the media, the public media. We don't use the term public media because we prefer the term media owned by the state, because it's different from the concept of public media that you could have in the States of in Europe. No, now for example, Channel 7, that is the media, the state-owned channel, it's clearly aligned in terms of information, and in terms of information with the government, and there is no possibility to make some balance information flow in this channel.
Okay, that's actually very interesting. So going further on journalism, I noticed on the Freedom of Press Index that Argentina is listed as the 54th best country to practice journalism, which
the IFEX index.
The Freedom of Press Index.
Freedom of Press.
And it's actually one of the highest in South America. So, which is good. But I was wondering, how are journalists treated by the government, and how are they treated by the corporate sector? Are they limited because of all these politics? Are they limited, or can they face any issues with that?
Sorry, I don't understand you the answer, the question.
So, with the Freedom of Press Index being number 54, you guys are really well off compared to many other Southern American countries, such as Colombia, which is way higher, and you can face jail time for speaking out against the government.
I mean, there is no important aggressions to journalists in doing the everyday work. No, we have no problems in terms of murders of journalists. There are very few cases, and not related with politics. Very few cases. The depression is quite it's more in an indirect way. Depression, not in a direct way, like there is not coercion to journalists, but and other difference. I mean that in this question in this issue, we have no problems in terms of coercion or some ways of freaks in the everyday work of the journalists, like in Colombia or Mexico, for example. And at the same time, the law don't allow to make any censorship by the government, like in other countries of South America. There are no articles that could in the law that could be used to restrict the freedom of expression. But considering both things that are very important in terms of create an ambient for freedom of expression, at the same time we should say that there is some problems in terms of an underweight. For example, the expenditure of public advertisement in terms of condition the media economies, especially in the countryside, not in Buenos Aires, and then there is also a pressure for the media owners to journalists. I think that this index reflects this, not big problems, but there are lots of problems in such more subway. Are not clear, but they are still present.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for wanting to do this interview.
Perfect.
And again, I really appreciate you taking the time.
Okay.